Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 21st of October. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Bubs, Transurban, Blackrock Mining, Woodside and Province Resources. So if you have a request, please send it through. Make sure you've signed up to our free newsletter, but if you'd like our better ideas, you need to get the Dynamic Investor Report that comes out every Tuesday. But if you do enjoy these videos, I'd love you to share them on social media or even leave us a review. Our main business is portfolio management, so if you'd like to have a broking account with me and have me personally help you with the buying and the selling, then please give me a call and I can discuss how that all works. And all the advice here, of course, is general only. So this is the chart of Bubs going back a few years. We could see huge decline in the share price, about $1.60 down to almost 30 cents. But just zooming in, I think it's looking really encouraging. So what we've got here is off the May low, we had the rally decline. So it's formed a higher low and then a big move here on volume and just getting past this high here. So we've basically got a higher low and a higher high, which is a positive. So it does look like it is breaking that downtrend. Again, volume's pretty good on the way up each time. So essentially, I think the way that it's cracking this level here, to me, looks like a buying opportunity. I think it looks like it wants to recover from here. Okay, Transurban. So just looking back over the past year and a bit, we could see, after that initial bounce there off the COVID lows, it's then done nothing. So it's just sort of for a year now, it's been underperforming. In the shorter term, we could see that since this peak in June, it's just been downtrending. So we've got all these lower highs, lower low. So I think the risk at the moment is still to the downside. For me to get bullish, I'd like to see, this movement here. It'd be nice to see it break through resistance. Otherwise, you'd be targeting some sort of bounce at lower levels. Okay, Blackrock Mining. So over the last year, trending higher. Obviously the price movements are getting fairly large now, so fairly large swings, so a bit of risk there. I mean, we've got moves from about 19 cents down to 12, back to almost 20, then back down to 13. So big movements, but it is still generally trending high. We've got the higher highs, higher lows. We've got this peak here in September, so it is very close to resistance. So I think to buy it here is a little bit risky. It did bounce off that previous low. Look, what I'd be doing in terms of looking for an entry point, I'd like to see it get above this previous peak where it got sold back down. So buy it either up here, or I'd like to see it come back here and make a higher low and then reverse. So at the moment, I think it's just one to keep an eye on. Okay, Woodside. So I think we looked at the chart back here and it wasn't looking very pretty at the time. So essentially we had this decline here, tried to rally, finding support just under 22, but then breaking it on volume. So we've had this decline here on quite a bit of increase in volume. We needed to see it get back above 22 and it managed to do that. So getting back up here was a positive, getting back above this line, and then it's had a bit of a run. So in terms of what it's going to do here, I think it will consolidate for a bit. It does look a little bit overbought, of course, with this impulsive move. For those who follow Elliott wave, you could possibly say this is a third wave. So if I just get sort of the fib tool here, if we've got a wave 1, 2, measure wave 3 happens to be exactly that sort of 2.6 times wave 1. So we've basically got wave 1, 2, 3. We're going to chop around for a wave 4 before a final move up for a wave 5, probably up towards 27, and then it'll hit resistance here, and then you'll probably get a bigger consolidation. So most of this move's been made, a little bit more upside, I think, here over the next potentially few weeks before we get a further consolidation in the share price. Okay, Province Resources. So obviously massive rally here, and then we've had this leveling out. Big volume move up here. In terms of this leveling out, it's been on next to no volume, so it looks like one to keep an eye on. This chart reminds me a little bit of the Vulcan chart, VUL, from about 3 months ago, where we had this rally decline. Then it started forming these higher lows, sort of building up, and then it was able to break higher. So I think this is one worth keeping an eye on. So we've got the higher lows here. Definitely looks like it's building up to something. Essentially, I'd be treating this sort of 18, what's that peak there, about just over 18 cents. So in my opinion, if I see it start trading 18.5 and a spike in volume, that would be a buy signal. You'd probably get a quick run up towards 24, and then hopefully it consolidates and then can get through that. So at the moment it's getting close to that level, just another couple of cents. And yeah, as I said, if there's volume on that break above this line, then that would be the next buying opportunity. Okay, well that's all for today. As always, if you have your request, send it through and I'll try to look at it next Thursday.